Hey friends. In this video, I thought I would offer my unasked for thoughts on the conversion of Cameron Bertuzzi from Capturing Christianity to Catholicism. You might expect me to say something bitter or to try to convince him not to, but I won't, and not just because Cameron will never watch this video. I say this because Cameron is doing exactly the same thing that I did when I stopped practicing my Catholicism. And what is that thing? It's our best. All we can do is the best we can do. And I think that Cameron is honestly convinced that the Catholic Church is the one true church. And it takes guts to leave the religion that you grew up in. Cameron will undoubtedly face backlash from the non-Catholic Christians in his life. I know that I faced intense backlash from the Catholics in my life when I left the Catholic Church. Don't get me wrong, I definitely disagree with Cameron's conclusion, but in my opinion, the conclusion is way less important than the process that it took you to get to the conclusion. In college, I once took a 2-problem exam. It took an hour and a half to complete, and I got both problems wrong. But I got a B+ on the exam. I showed my work and I made small errors in both, so the conclusion was wrong, but my work was mostly right, so I got a good grade. And I like to think that God is a lot like my engineering professor. I like to think that if God were to exist, God seeing my work and knowing that I did my best, even if my conclusion was wrong, would be enough. And I imagine that Cameron feels the same way about the Protestant God. If Cameron's wrong and Protestantism was right, I bet you that Cameron thinks that God is good enough that he realizes that Cameron did the best that he could do, and even if he got the answer wrong in the end, he did his best and the work is what counts. I think that this is the real Pascal's wager. We don't get to choose what we are convinced of, but we can choose to follow the truth wherever that journey might take us. My journey led me away from Rome. Cameron's journey led him to Rome. And I can't read Cameron's mind, but he strikes me as sincere. And all I can really say is that this ex-Catholic, at least depending on your definition of the word, really respects Cameron's intellectual honesty, even if I personally came to a different conclusion. Thanks, everybody.